welcome to the next vlog. This has taken quite a while since the last one. There's been lots going on. We've moved marinas, done a fair bit to the boat, but they've all been small bits and not really worth filming. But I thought I'd do a quick vlog about all the updates, like an overview of what's been done before we move on. We intend to use the boat much more now, so there'll be a period of hopefully extra vlogs with a bit more interesting bits and pieces coming up. So this is just an overview of where we are since it's been 6 months, I think, since the last one. Enjoy and see you again soon. So starting off at the stern or the back of the boat, the first bit is the cover which we got made. And this has been a bit of a godsend because it really does help us to be able to sort of do engine work when it's raining and all that sort of thing. We can just put the cover on and it stops the water getting in. It's also a really good place to put your drying if you've just done washing. So you can see it just supported by these two bits of wood, which gives it the curvature, and then it just keeps the water off. Next bit to be done are the seats, which we've replaced the wood on them and also made them a bit more comfy, putting on the fake Bentley material. Not sure how genuine that is, but probably not very. And also we've treated the rear bins as well, put 2-pack in there, so that's got rid of all the rust. Now down into the engine bay. There's an awful lot has happened in here. First off, you can see that it's been painted, which it really needs to be redone in a couple of places, but on the whole it's much brighter than it was, which has made it much more pleasurable to work in. Then there's the alternator, which we had to replace, and well as the usual bits and pieces for servicing, which have all been done at regular intervals. You see, looking around, the paint's looking a little bit sad now. Also replaced all the batteries, which have held up very well, and a lot of work done on the electrics. This is one of the fuse boxes. That's where the solar connects down the bottom there, and this is all the Victron bits and pieces which we put in there, along with some new master switches and fuses and all that sort of thing, as well as the shunt. So a lot of the electrics have been replaced. I've also rerouted the Webasto cabling, which used to go over the motor. So this is now around the edge, so it doesn't vibrate. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more reliable. See, it's all coiled up. So you can see how bright it is in there, which is really nice. I've also put some of this edging on the top to stop vibrating. Incidentally, that bit of wood on top of the batteries was an old door which we just varnished up. And we've also replaced the bilge pump. And redid one of the diesel connections at the top, which was leaking and spurting diesel all over the place. So lots happened in the engine bay, and lots of new tweaks as well. This is my bit of cable to join the starter and house batteries, so that they can all charge together, or if one lot goes flat I can charge them from the other one, just in case. And this is a bit posh. I've actually put lighting in so that when I'm working down here I can see everything without having to have a torch. And this is great. This combined with the cover on top means I can work in any conditions, which is lovely. And there you have it. So right at the back, this is a new addition. Got a couple of these grabby things so I can get some stuff out of the canal. And now inside, these have all been replaced. So this is all like black plastic put over to cover all the holes, and a new wiring switch panel. And inside it's like a sea of Victron kit. So there's the charge controller. Oops, hang on a minute, just get my arm out of the way. So that's the charge controller. We've also got the Serbo GX device, and then there's the main wiring panel for 240 volts, which is all labelled up. The previous one wasn't, we had to guess what was what. And then there's the brains of the Victron Multi Plus 2. So it's not terribly neat, but very functional. And there you can see why we had to get the black plastic, because it just didn't match the previous kit that was in there. And there's the Webasto and the immersion heater switch. The Webasto works remotely as well, which is nice. The other thing was we changed the immersion heater. This was all completely rusted in, a right old mess, so that's used extensively now while we're in the marina. And then there's the hatch itself, which has had a lot of work done during lockdown. Put some insulation in and some draft proofing, and that's now waterproof. And the hidden thing here is we've actually got an electric blanket which we use, so that works on shoreline, plus it works on the inverter as well, because it's just a low powered one, so that's lovely. And we've replaced the floor, so you can see the wooden floor that goes throughout now, apart from the kitchen. That made a big difference, ripping up the old carpet. So moving above the bed, put a little USB charger up there, which was plumbed into the lights. That works very well, plumbing, charging up tablets and phones and all that sort of thing. All the lights are now LED as well. Now we did have plastic bungs, but we found someone on Etsy who actually made these, so we've replaced them all with these proper bungs now, which are great at completely blocking out all daylight and make it so much warmer as well. And into the bathroom, where it's been sort of part tiled, which has given it a bit of colour. I've also replaced all the taps. They were those funny gold taps that you sometimes get. And the towel rail, that's all been sanded down and painted. That was a bit rusty. And just really fitted a new shower kit in there, so it's like a, I don't know what you call it. Is it like a avalanche shower or whatever? But the one with the big shower head on anyway. Hello. Yeah, that's LED as well. So we've just changed everything for LEDs just to keep it all low power. And before we rewired everything, the pumps are all on one switch, so I put an isolator on each one, so that little blue light down there you can switch that pump on and off, the main shower pump. Again, fitting LED lights everywhere. This is just put in the kitchen, and that's just wired into the cabinet, which we don't have lit up anymore. There's no point lighting up tea and coffee. And under the cupboards, it's always been dark, so I got some switches to automatically switch on lights. They have been one of the best things we've done. You can see how it changes things. So done it on both sides. So you open it up, lights up. You haven't got to remember to turn anything on and off. Again, same thing on the other one. It really is one of the best things there. And also made a perspex panel to go in the duck hatch, just so that we can have the window open but not let the rain in. It just bolts in either side and seems to do a good job. We've made quite a lot of changes in here. Messed about with the old movable table and turned it into like a breakfast bar with some bar stools, which works really well for putting the computer on and having breakfast on and all that sort of stuff. And that fits in much better, much more out the way. Bar stools are great, they work really well. And also moved power, so we've got mains and 12 volts underneath here, so we can plug whatever we want in there. And while we were doing the floor, I'll put the underfloor storage. Not using that at the moment, but you can keep stuff in there to keep cool. I know, wine, butter, whatever. And there's the new settee, the bed settee, which works really well. We keep our barge poles and that inside, not on the roof, because they just deteriorate up there, and then when you come to use them they just snap. So they're all polished up and just kept inside, so they're available to use when we need to. We don't paint them either, so we can keep an eye on what's going on with them. But yeah, so moving along, we've got the TV and the Roku, which is brilliant. An absolute ideal entertainment centre for a boat is the Roku, with catch up on the internet and all that sort of stuff. Works really well, and thoroughly recommend that. That's all permanently plumbed into 12 volts. And then moving along to the near the front, where we changed the radio over to a bit more modern one, and also fitted a box with lots of USB connections for phones and all that sort of stuff, so everything's in there. This is like our internet area here, where the router is and all that sort of thing. And that's right at the front. Not really done much of the fire, haven't needed to. That's all pretty much as it was. But yeah, you can see how the bed settee fits in there. That's so much better than the inbuilt one that was there, that L-shaped one. And there you can see all of the saloon. And coming out to the bow, looking out here, replaced our feeble horn with this klaxon Auga one, I think we call it, which is much better. And in the gas locker, not done much yet. I still need to get in here. The only thing I have done really is to put some straps on the gas cylinders, so they're all held in securely. I do intend to jump in here and start getting that all painted at some point in the future. And then looking in the bow thruster area, this got a lot of work done in here at a while back, where it was all completely cleaned out and sorted out the rust and painted it. and that stayed pretty clean. It's also got enough room to where we keep the mops and all that sort of thing. But now that has stayed nice and dry, which is really nice. So moving up to the top of the boat, there's our aerial. Replace the connections to that, so that now goes down the side of the boat. Completely painted the roof during the lockdown, so that was all been redone. It was painted the front of the boat as well, the bow area, and also fitted solar panels on the roof, which you can see here, all on magnets, so they can all come off and move around, which is great. And back to the stern. So yeah, so that pretty much sums up everything that's been done on the boat. Left the best till last, really. The one thing that's made the biggest difference, though, of everything we've done has been this little bit of bendy wire, and it's made such a difference in that while we're cruising along and we want to have the doors closed when we're both outside, they just used to crash around all the time, whereas this bit of bent coat hanger will sit across it and stop it, and it makes such a difference. It's really quite strange. So yeah, so this is the one thing that every boater needs to do. And that's it. That concludes everything, and we'll be back with a new vlog very shortly.